everyone, this is Afsha, a teacher at Ahlebeth High School and Junior College. Welcome back to my class. Today we are going to start the 8th unit of our class 8th. Now it's the time for the part A, that is Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis. So now without wasting our time, let us move forward towards our lesson. No other Indian can claim the kind of adulation and respect Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis enjoys in China. Coming from a family of doctors, Dr. Kotnis had always dreamt of becoming a physician. So it is a story of Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis, and let me tell you one thing, the theme of our lesson is gratitude. Gratitude is nothing but thanksgiving, right? So here he is a doctor from China, but he was a native of India. Coming from a family of doctors, Dr. Kotnis had always dreamt of becoming a physician, and the war of resistance gave him the perfect opportunity to make himself useful in the battlefield. He dedicated his entire life working as a battlefront doctor in China and rendered his selfless service to the injured Chinese soldiers during the Second Sino-Japanese War. Dr. Kotnis' contribution towards humanity will be remembered forever. So being an Indian, he helped Chinese soldiers at the time of battlefields. He treated them very well. So his service is everlasting and not forgettable. Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis was born in a lower middle class family on October 10, 1910 in Sholapur, Maharashtra. So he was born on 10th of October 1910. Okay, in Sholapur, Maharashtra. A vivacious kid by nature, Dr. Kotnis forever aspired to become a doctor. After completing his graduation in medicine from GS Medical College, Bombay, he went on to pursue his post-graduation internship. However, he put aside his post-graduation plans when he got the chance to join the medical and mission to China. So, he completed his doctorate from Mumbai, and the name of the college was GS Medical College, and after the completion of the MBBS, he moved forward towards the post-graduation. But anyhow, later on he discontinued his PG when he got the chance to join the medical aid mission to China. Dr. Kotnis always wanted to travel around the world and practice medicine in different parts of the globe. He started his medical expedition in Vietnam and then moved on to Singapore and Brunei. In 1937, the Communist General Zhu Di requested Jawaharlal Nehru to send Indian physicians to China during the Second Sino-Japanese War to help the soldiers. So what it is saying here, so Dr. Kotnis always loved to travel around the world. He was very fond of traveling and practicing medicine in different parts of the globe. It was his interest actually. He started his medical expedition in Vietnam, that is in China, okay, and again he moved to Singapore. In 1937, what happened? The Communist General, whose name was Zhu Di, he requested Jawaharlal Nehru to send some Indian physicians to help in the Sino-Japanese War. The President of the Indian National Congress, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, accepted the request and made arrangements to send a team of volunteer doctors. A medical team of 5 doctors was sent as a part of Indian medical mission team in September 1938. So, in 1938, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose accepted to send a team of medical volunteers to China. The medical team comprised of M. Atal, M. Cholkar, D. Kotnis, B. K. Basu and D. Mukherjee. After the war, all other doctors except Dr. Kotnis returned to India. So he was the only one who stayed there even after the war. However, Dr. Kotnis decided to stay back and serve at the military base. He initially started his work in Yan'an and then went to the anti-Japanese base area in North China, where he worked in the surgical department of the English Route Army General Hospital as the physician in charge. So even after the war, Dr. Kotnis decided to continue as a military-based doctor there itself. He wanted to become a volunteer over there only. So he decided to stay there, and he from that time served in the 8th Route Army General Hospital as the physician in charge. It was while working with the soldiers that Dr. Kotnis lost his heart to Chinese woman Gyo Kinglan. So they were working in the same hospital. So at the time of his work or treating the soldiers, we can say, Dr. Kotnis fell in love with a woman, Chinese woman, whose name was Gyo Kinglan. They were working in the same hospital, actually they were colleagues. Dr. Kotnis was a doctor and Gio a nurse. In November 1941, Kotnis married Gio and son was born on August 23, 1942. They named the boy Yin Hua, combining the Chinese characters Yin for India and Hua for China. So they were blessed with a baby boy and to whom they have named as Yin Hua. He worked as a lecturer for some time in the military area at the Dr. Bethune Hygiene School. He took over the post of the first president of the Bethune International Peace Hospital after Dr. Norman Bethune passed away. So he also worked as a lecturer in different medical colleges. During a long drawn out battle against Japanese troops in 1940, Dr. Kotnis performed operations for 72 hours non-stop without any sleep, and his small team conducted 50 operations every day for a fortnight. In those harsh times, Mrs. Goa proved an ideal soulmate but was modest about her contribution. So, during a long drawn out battle against Japanese troops that took place in the year 1940, Dr. Kotnis performed operations continuously for 72 hours without even sleeping for some time, and his little team or small team, we can say, they also performed almost 50 operations every night. Dr. Kotnis played a major role in the controlling a virulent strain of plague that hit China's soldiers. In the process, he did not fall back from trying out a vaccine on himself. The hardships of suppressed military life and the stresses that were especially relevant in the frontline doctors finally began to tell on Dr. Kotnis. He died of epilepsy on December 9, 1942 at the age of 32 and was buried in the Heroes Courtyard, Nankon village. So after working hard for some time in China, Dr. Kotnis died because of the disease that was called as epilepsy. Epilepsy is a disease of a nervous system where a person will become unconscious, and after that he died actually, and he was died on December 9th, 1942 when he was only 32 years, and he was buried in the Heroes Courtyard, Nankon village. In order to cherish the memory of Dr. Kotnis, the Chinese government built a memorial hall for him in Shijiazhuang city, Hebei province in 1976. So it is a great honor actually that a government from another country is building a memorial or some monument or etc. in the name of the Indian soldiers or in the name of the Indian personality. So he was that lucky fellow for whom the Chinese government built a memorial hall. No single Indian has been so much revered by ordinary Chinese as this doctor from a middle class family in northern India. Along with the Canadian doctor Norman Bethune, he continues to be revered by the Chinese people. In April 2005, both their graves were covered completely in flowers donated by the Chinese people during the Qingming festival, a day used by the Chinese to commemorate their ancestors. So on April, in April actually 2005, their graves, whose graves? The first person was Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis and the another was Norman Bethune. So their graves were full with flowers because that was the day when Chinese people celebrate a festival on the name of their ancestors. A small museum there has a handbook which contains words that Kotnis wrote in his passage from India to China, some of the instruments that surgeons used at their time and many photographs of doctors. So a small museum is also there on the name of Dr. Kotnis, where his book like Passage from India to China and some surgical instruments and photographs of doctors were kept. Both China and India honored him with stamps in 1982 and 1993 respectively. On a later occasion, Kotnis' family stood before his grave in northern China, Matrice Memorial Cemetery, Hebei province. The family also toured Shijiazhuang and visited the Dr. Bethune International Peace Hospital where Kotnis once served as a director. In exclusive interviews with China Daily in Beijing and Shanghai, the family members shared their memories of the doctor, not only as a hero but also as a loved brother, husband and an adventurous young man. So he was not only a good doctor but he was a very good gentleman even. He was a very good brother, very humble and a loyal husband and an adventurous young man. He was vivacious and liked singing. Sometimes I could not stop laughing when he told jokes, said Gio, recalling Kotnis with a smile. So his wife was saying that he was a vivacious and he liked singing. Sometimes I used to laugh on him and sometimes I used to laugh on his jokes. He was very humorous actually. The tragic tale was to continue even after Dr. Kotnis' death. Their son Yinhua, who was 3 months old when Dr. Kotnis died, also passed away when he was just 25. Mrs. Kotnis moved to Delhi in the 60s and lived there since. Despite the 2 premature deaths, Mrs. Kotnis never let weeds cover her India connection. She visited the country at least half a dozen times and maintained her links with the Kotnis family. So not only Dr. Kotnis but even his son also expired when he was only 25 years old. Even after such big incidents, Mrs. Kotnis did not broke her connection with India. She even used to visit India after the death of the Kotnis as well as his son. Mrs. Kotnis had been an honored guest at many high-level diplomatic functions between China and India, such as the banquet Dalian Mayo Bozilai hosted for then Indian President K.R. Narayan in June 2000 and during the visit of then Indian Prime Minister Vajpayee to Beijing in June 2003. So Mrs. Kotnis, who was the connection between India and China, she has been honored guest at many high level diplomatic functions between India and China. She was like a bridge between 2 countries. She was a regular invitee at the Indian embassy functions to China. In November 2006, she accompanied Chinese President Hu Jintao on a state visit to India. She died on 28 June 2012. While Kotnis is venerated in China with textbooks recounting his story to children and a Beijing hospital even creating a medical team in his memory, very little is known of him in the land of his birth. So, Dr. Kotnis is very famous in China when compared to India. Our Indians, even though he belonged to our country, our Indians don't know much about him. Few in Mumbai or the rest of the country know about the doctor who served in China during the 1938 Sino-Japanese War and died there in 1942, says his septuagenarian younger sister Vatsala. So only few of this country know about him, only few know that there was some doctor who has served in the Sino-Japanese War and he left the world in the year 1942 and etc. But no much knowledge is not there with the Indians about Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis. Who is saying all these things? His septuagenarian sister, means a sister who has crossed 70 years, right? So a person who crossed 70 years will be called as septuagenarian. So septuagenarian younger sister Vatsala is saying all these things. However, Dr. Kotnis became famous in his hometown after his death with the publication of his best-selling biography, One Who Never Returned, written by a film journalist Khwaja Abbas Ahmed in 1945 and the screening of the 1946 classic Bollywood movie Dr. Kotnis Ki Amar Kahani, directed by V. Shantaram. So, Dr. Kotnis became famous in his hometown, that is in India, after his death with the publication of a biography which was written by a film journalist whose name was Khwaja Abbas Ahmed in the year 1945 and the name of that biography was One Who Never Returned. So, the name itself is denoting Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis, right? And after that in the year 1946 a movie was made in the memories of Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis and the name of the movie was Dr. Kotnis Ki Amar Kahani. After this he was famous, he became famous all over the world. Echoing Vatsala is Leena Fernandez, the General Secretary of the Mumbai chapter of the Indo-China Friendship Association. Friendly ties between India and China have their own significance, even a humanitarian level. The selfless service rendered by Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis, Shantaram Kotnis actually, a proud son of India during the Sino-Japanese War and to wounded Chinese soldiers is an evergreen symbol of the human relationship between the people of India and China. So, the reason of the bonding between the India and China is because of the Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis only. The way he served the Chinese soldiers was highly appreciable. Memorabilia. So, what is the meaning of memorabilia? Actually, they are the objects that are collected in the memory of some person or the events. Had it not been for the renowned filmmaker V. Shantaram and the Amar Chitra Katha comic book and maybe a few others, Indians would have never known how our brother who served in Mao Zedong Red Army saved lives during the war. So here Dr. Kotnis' sisters, they are thanking the filmmakers and the writers who have written about Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis. Because of them only our people came to know about such a great personality who have served in the Sino-Japanese war and have saved many soldiers, many lives. So that was a beautiful lesson about the Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis. It was a biography actually. I hope you all have understood very well and you all got inspired by this Indian doctor whose name was Dr. Dwarakanad Kotnis. Let us stop it here itself and we will continue in our next class. Thank you.